Hi, if you want to watch exclusive content with hot girls that you won't watch on YouTube, namely where Naruto roasts Kushina and Mikoto and many other hot girls without restrictions, then visit my Boosty channel at the link in the description. Naruto celebrates his birthday by sitting and drinking sake on his head, but then a powerful explosion came from the gates of Konoha. Naruto decided to go there because the 8th Hokage was not in the village. Naruto went to the place of the explosion. There was a strange man with 2 horns growing from his forehead, long hair that almost touched the ground, and white skin. Stop, he has 2 horns growing from his forehead. His skin is white like Kagaya's. Maybe he is from Otsutsuki. Naruto asked, getting ready to fight. Who are you? Naruto asked warily. Pathetic mortal, how dare you address me in such a disrespectful manner? Okay, I'll tell you my name, but know that everyone who heard it will be doomed to death by my hand. Before the long-haired man could finish speaking, Naruto interrupted him. Why say the name if such a fate awaits? Naruto said with a slight smile. I need to hold out until the Anbu court arrives, otherwise I can only beat him up, but I won't be able to kill him. Yeah, and I thought people were taught basic manners. I can only say one thing, one more mistake and you'll die, said the long-haired man, looking angrily at Naruto. Can I ask you one question? Why did you come to court? Said Naruto. Okay, I'll answer you this question. I came to court to take away from you one girl who is carrying a follower of our clan. He's talking about Sarada. If nothing is done, he'll dig up all of Konoha to find her. By this time, Sasuke had arrived. Naruto, what's going on here? The black-haired man said worriedly. He came for your daughter. Sorry, whoever you are, but I won't let anyone hurt my daughter, Sasuke said, preparing for battle. So my goal is your daughter. Well, if you don't give it up the easy way, then I'll move on to another plan. And the last thing you'll hear from me is that my name is Mikata. Naruto began to concentrate chakra in his palm, creating a Rasen Shuriken and throwing it at Mikata, but the Uchiha decided to add fire and lightning chakra to it. And a coal-black Rasen Shuriken flew at Mikata. Mikata decided to put out his left hand and reflect this projectile with it. Because Naruto and Sasuke had not tried this technique yet, this shuriken exploded 10 centimeters from Mikata's hand, which he did not expect. When Sasuke saw the explosion, he decided to go behind Mikata and commanded Naruto to attack him head-on. Mikata parried Naruto's blow. But when Sasuke began to attack from behind, Naruto was glad that their plan had succeeded. But the next moment he saw Sasuke's head fall to the ground. Naruto jumped back and said, How did you do that? Naruto said, If you didn't understand how I did it, then you're not my equal. But since you're dead, I'll say it was a chakra trap that I specially installed on my hair in case of an attack from behind. It's transparent and incredibly sharp, Mikata said with a grin on his face. How dare you? Naruto ran to Mikata in Kurama mode. Awakening! And Mikata's eyes began to resemble Rinnegan's, but it was not ordinary, but black with white tomoya. Naruto didn't see it because of the speed, but he felt a terrifying force capable of destroying the planet. Mikata looked at Naruto with his eyes. The next second Naruto fell to his knees because of the pain. He didn't lose his arms or legs. Mikata's eyes worked to destroy all organs except the brain and heart so that the victim would remain alive and writhe in agony. Mikata looked at the dying Naruto and said, Oh, you could have come to a good agreement. Goodbye, weakling, see you in the next life, Mikata said with a grin. Naruto stopped feeling pain, which made him wary. Where am I? Naruto shouted, opening his eyes. I see you've woken up, said the sage of the 6 paths. You Hagoromo, apparently I'm dead if I see you and don't feel the same pain, Naruto said with sadness in his eyes. Yes, Naruto, you died, but I will let you live your life again, said Hagoromo, pointing his finger at Naruto. So I'll have to live my life over again? Yes, but this time you will have one ability, and which one you will learn when you are resurrected. Are you ready? Said Hagoromo. Ready, you can resurrect, said Naruto. Then, Hagoromo began to fold the seals, the resurrection technique, said Hagoromo. Sage couldn't be wrong. But why am I still here? Okay, I'll try to close my eyes and imagine Konoha. Maybe it will work out, and to Naruto's surprise he really did end up where he wanted. Naruto stood next to Ichiraku, looked at his body and realized what a weakling he was at that age. Naruto's body looked like a 7-year-old child. Naruto thought, okay, now I'll eat and go train to pump up my body. Naruto entered Ichiraku. Oh, hello Naruto to you as always, said Teuchi with a smile, the owner of Ichiraku. Yes, but can I have 5 portions, otherwise I'm very hungry, said Naruto holding his stomach. 20 minutes passed and Naruto with a round belly came out of Ichiraku. Okay, I'll go to the training ground, I hope there's no one there. Naruto reached the training ground and saw a team of shinobi training in shuriken jutsu. Naruto decided to wait and see. After 5 minutes, Naruto realized that if they encountered Mikoto as an opponent, they had no chance. The shinobi team left the training ground. Naruto climbed down from the tree and decided to find this ability, which Hagoromo spoke about. After 15 minutes, he decided to release chakra and noticed that the leaf that had flown past him stopped in the air. Naruto was surprised by this and decided to step back, but as he moved 2 meters away, the leaf continued to fall down, but already burning. Naruto stood with his mouth open from his ability and decided to start training in chakra so that he could cover a much greater distance. By the end of the training, Naruto realized that his ability could be random, which is why every time he directed chakra into the leaf, it either cut in half or got wet, and the strangest thing was that the leaf disappeared and only ashes appeared a second later. Naruto trained for another hour and went home. The next morning Naruto decided to go and learn everything he remembered from his past life. So a year passed and Naruto had to enter the academy, so Naruto went to the Hokage to enroll. During the passage he heard a loud conversation and decided to eavesdrop because his name was mentioned there. Hiruzen, are you serious about the 9-tailed Jinchuriki training at the academy? Danzo said. All children should study at the academy, and Naruto is no exception, said Hiruzen. But he can't control the demon inside him, and if he fails he will break out and destroy us all. Who will be able to protect Konoha from the fox then? Okay, don't ask me to help you when the fox breaks out and destroys Konoha, Danzo said, heading towards the door. Naruto heard approaching footsteps and decided to run away so that he would not be seen. A few minutes later Naruto went to the Hokage's office and enrolled in the academy, after which he went home thinking about how he would behave at the academy tomorrow. And on the way to the house, he realized that he would behave like Shikamaru, but at a convenient opportunity he would show his intelligence and strength. Naruto went into his house and realized that he had forgotten about Kurama and had not learned the tailed beast mode. Naruto sat in the lotus position and began to meditate, and entered his subconscious and saw that Kurama was fast asleep, and no matter how Naruto called him, he did not answer. Naruto even decided to remove the seal from the cage because he was able to resist him, but as soon as he touched it, he flew away from the cage, which is why he flew out of his subconscious. Naruto did not understand why he could not remove the seal and decided to try again, but could not enter the subconscious again. Realizing this, Naruto lay down on the bed and began to fall asleep. Waking up in the morning, Naruto decided to eat and go to the academy. Near the academy there was a crowd of children with their parents. A few minutes later Iruka came out of the academy and invited the young shinobi to go to the auditorium. Naruto entered the auditorium and saw Sasuke walking to the seat near the window, and Naruto decided to sit next to him. Hi, I'm Naruto, and what's your name? Naruto said with a smile, although he knew his name. Hello Naruto, my name is Sasuke Uchiha, said Sasuke and turned his head towards the teacher. Then Iruka began to explain who ninja are, what they do, etc. While Iruka was giving his lecture, Naruto remembered that Itachi would soon destroy his clan, but Naruto remembered one strong Uchiha whose name was Shisuya, and Naruto wanted to be friends with him, because Shisuya wanted to protect Konoha with all his might, and he had Manjikyu Sharingan with an unusual power to subjugate people. After several hours of boring lessons, everyone was sent home. Naruto did not want to go home and therefore decided to find Shisuya, which was difficult. After several hours he found him on one of the training grounds together with Itachi. They were clearly discussing something, but Naruto did not hear the conversation and he decided to come up and say hello to them. Hello? Said Naruto with a smile. Well, hello to you Naruto, Shisuya said because he saw him in one of the dossiers. Help me with one technique, said Naruto, getting ready to demonstrate his secret technique. Okay, let's go, said Itachi, getting ready to jump back if necessary. Okay, let's get started. Naruto folded the seals and 4 clones appeared next to him. Not bad. At such a young age he was able to summon 4 clones, said Shisuya. Harem technique, said Naruto, and all the clones turned into beautiful girls. Shursui and Itachi's noses started bleeding. The clones suddenly disappeared and Naruto emerged from the smoke and slapped them on the back of the head, as if to show that if there had been a fight they would have already been killed. Not bad, Naruto, not bad at all. That means your technique was a harem. Okay, perhaps I'll introduce myself. I'm Shisuya, and this is Itachi. Of course, how can the technique I trained so much in be bad? Said Naruto. So you can attack, but will you be able to defend yourself? Said Itachi. The next second Itachi appeared behind Naruto and hit Naruto, but after the hit Itachi realized that it was a clone, and Naruto himself was standing behind him with a kunai in his hand. Itachi disintegrated into several crows and moved towards Shursui. And the kid is not a slouch. If a Chunin had stood instead of me, Naruto would have won. Yeah, he'll make a good shinobi. Listen, who's your teacher? I'd like to meet him, said Shisuya. But like I taught myself all this, said Naruto. Are you lying? You couldn't learn everything yourself, said Itachi. The absolute truth, said Naruto. Okay, we believe you, said Shisuya, thinking that he would have to report all this to the Hokage. Can you do something else for me? Don't tell anyone about my power, said Naruto. Okay, we won't tell, but for this fight us seriously, if you win, we won't tell, said Itachi. Naruto prepared to fight seriously. He began to think over tactics, or he would lose without them. Naruto came up with the idea of sending clones to Itachi so that he would run out of breath, and Naruto himself would go fight Shursui. Naruto used the cloning technique and summoned 1,000 clones. All the clones ran to Itachi. Itachi decided to use the Sharingan and fought off the clones. Naruto himself decided to make Shursui go as far away from Itachi as possible. Naruto managed to take Shursui away from Itachi and they began to fight in taijutsu. Naruto quickly realized that Shursui was on the same level as him and decided to create a Rasengan while creating clones underground. Naruto ran with a Rasengan in his hand at Shursui, who wanted to jump back, but Naruto's clone grabbed his legs. Naruto ran up to Shursui and wanted to hit him, but Itachi grabbed his hand, who was out of breath. It looks like I would have lost to Shursui in time, so let's show the power of the Uchiha, said Itachi. Shisuya used genjutsu on Naruto. Naruto remembered that in order to get out of the court, someone needed to pour their chakra into him, where Kurama would be needed. Naruto decided to try to enter his subconscious and wake up Kurama, but he was still sleeping. Naruto thought so Kurama sleeps all the time or something happened here. Naruto went to the cage and realized that Kurama was not breathing, which made Naruto feel uneasy, and the thought came to his mind that for some reason the time stop was activated here and Naruto decided to try to remove the chakra and in fact, his own chakra began to flow into him from all sides, and Kurama began to snore. Oh, and I didn't think that my ability works in here. Okay, let's proceed to subjugating Kurama to ourselves. Then everything happened as in the canon. After Kurama became kind, Naruto said, "Well, Kurama, let's get out of this genjutsu." "Of course, Naruto, I'll give you my chakra, because I hate these damn genjutsu." View from the Uchiha side. Shisuya used genjutsu for a second. Naruto's eyes closed, and he opened them immediately, taking Itachi and Shisuya in his chakra paws. "You lost," Naruto said with a smile. The Uchihas, not expecting that they would be defeated by the boy they met 30 minutes ago, said in unison. "We lost," said two teachers. It couldn't be any other way. "But how were you able to get out of the genjutsu?" Itachi said. "It's all because of the one who sits inside me," said Naruto, smiling. "So you got out using the Nine Tails," said Shisuya. Naruto removed his hands from the chakra and the Uchihas stood on the ground. "Okay, we won't tell anyone about your power, and we hope that you will surprise us in the future," said Itachi. "Okay, I have to go already," said Naruto as he left the training ground. Naruto wasn't going home yet, but wanted to eat ramen. After he ate, he went home. On the way, he told Kurama how strong he was, to which Kurama laughed and was very surprised that Naruto could stop time with chakra, but this had a plus that could sometimes be considered a minus. Naruto told the story that everything was stopped here too. Kurama asked? According to you, you can stop time with the help of chakra and everything that gets into this area can die from one of the 5 elements or disappear altogether. But why then didn't I die when you removed your chakra? To which Naruto could not find the words for a long time and did not understand why Kurama did not die. After thinking for a long time, Naruto blurted out, I guess I didn't want to kill you and that's why you didn't die. Naruto, you understand that this needs to be tested on the sheets, and if they do not suffer from random elements, then you can be considered practically immortal, because you can always cover some area around you and no one can hit you or use a technique, said Kurama. Naruto decided to tell about how he got there and about Mikoto, to which Kurama realized that it wouldn't work against him. Kurama, well, in the future, in about 30 years, I'll have to fight him, Naruto said thoughtfully. I don't know about that, but he will definitely be a strong opponent, Kurama said. Naruto walked up to the house, walked in, and immediately fell onto the bed. The next day Naruto woke up as usual, ate, and went to check if he could release chakra so that an object or creature would not die. Naruto went to the training ground where he fought the Uchiha yesterday. Naruto took a piece of paper and began to practice with time. At first, he destroyed 49 pieces of paper, which made Naruto despair and think that he would not succeed. He took a new piece of paper again and tried to release chakra, but this time the piece of paper was not destroyed when Naruto removed the chakra. It was completely intact. Yes, it worked after so many unsuccessful attempts, said Naruto, pleased with his result. Yes, you did it, but from the 50th attempt I knew that you were stupid and couldn't do anything yourself, but not that much, Kurama grumbled. Kurama, don't grumble so much. Look, I'll stop time again now and nothing will happen to the leaf, said Naruto. He released the chakra again and immediately removed it, and the leaf was intact. And now look, Kurama, I'll destroy him, said Naruto. And indeed Naruto tried again and the leaf was destroyed. But Naruto immediately fell down due to exhaustion. Naruto, why aren't you asleep? Kurama didn't finish speaking as Naruto passed out. Naruto woke up in the same place, but now the Uchihas were sitting next to him. Well, what have you been practicing now, that you even lost consciousness? Said Shisuya. Yes, I can show you that, said Naruto. No, it's better to lie down and not get up, said Itachi. Naruto decided to listen to the Uchiha. Kurama, how long was I out? Naruto said. -6 hours. All this time I poured chakra into you because as soon as you started to control time your chakra disappeared literally in a second, said Kurama. Stop 6 hours, I just wanted to train a little and then go to the academy, Naruto said and realized that nothing would happen for skipping one day and sighed with relief. Kurama, can I walk again? Naruto asked. As if you didn't know how to do that before, Kurama said. Naruto stood up and decided to leave the training ground. Naruto, where are you going? You can't walk yet, Itachi shouted. Itachi-san, don't worry about me, said Naruto and ran away from the training ground. I need to go to the Hokage and tell him about my power. Naruto decided to reveal his power, but only to the Hokage. And again someone was talking in the office, but it didn't look like Danzo. And Naruto decided to go in. Hello everyone, Naruto said, surprised to see Iruka standing in the office. Naruto, where have you been? Asked Iruka, who was angry. Calm down, Iruka. Naruto, explain why you didn't go to the academy today, said Hiruzen, smoking his pipe. Naruto thought that he couldn't become a Hokage now, but he could become an ANBU. Old man, I want to become Hokage, but since I'm too young for such a post, can I join the ANBU, since I've been training hard since I was 7 years old? Said Naruto. Hiruzen walked over and placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder. I'm sorry, of course, but first you have to become a Genin and Chunin, and then I'll see whether to take you into the ANBU or not, said Hiruzen. Then Itachi and Shisuya appeared in the windows. Hokage herself, we can vouch for him, because he defeated us alone. Okay, Let's first go to some training ground and I'll test your strength myself," said Hiruzen. And everyone who was in the office followed to the nearest training ground. "Well, Naruto, if you can touch me you will immediately become a Chunin, and if you win, I will find a place for you among the Umbu." Hiruzen took off his cloak and prepared himself. Iruka thought that Naruto had no chance and decided to become a judge. "Let's start," Iruka said. Naruto ran and summoned 1,000 clones, but Hiruzen used the rain technique and it poured down from the sky. Hiruzen used the lightning technique and hit the ground. Naruto quickly realized that if he did nothing, lightning would kill him. Naruto dispelled the clones and instead of smoke, they dispersed into chakra that stopped time. Hiruzen saw that the rain stopped falling, was surprised and looked at Naruto, and saw that his left pupil had turned into an hourglass that stopped running. Hiruzen did not know what to do because with every second Naruto was getting closer and more space was being absorbed by not blue chakra, but some kind of orange one. Naruto agreed with Kurama before the fight that if he ran out of chakra, he would immediately use his chakra. Hiruzen began to simply run away throwing kunai at Naruto, but they immediately stopped and fell. Naruto realized that he had lost too much chakra, but even using Kurama's chakra, he could hold out for another minute. Naruto decided to enter Kurama mode and his body was completely covered in orange chakra and ran after Hiruzen with all his speed. A second later he saw Naruto standing in front of him, but Hiruzen could not move. "So I lost," thought Hiruzen. Naruto absorbed the chakra he released and fell unconscious again. Naruto woke up in his room. He looked around and saw that on the table was a Konoha protector and an Anbu mask in the form of a fox. Naruto came up to try on the mask and put the protector on his hand because under the mask it would get in the way. And since it was late he decided to sleep, but he couldn't because he slept almost all day. "Is Naruto happy with becoming an Umbu and a shinobi?" Kurama asked. "Of course, I thought that I would become Hokage at 14. Naruto answered. By the way, everyone who was at the training ground stood with their mouths open when they saw that you can stop time, and by the way, if you want to fall asleep, I thought you could practice releasing chakra on individual objects again so as not to cover a large area, and when you run out of chakra you will pass out," said Kurama. That's an idea, so I can protect myself by surrounding myself with chakra and stop the enemy if possible," said Naruto. Naruto couldn't figure out for a long time how to release chakra just to stop some object. He practiced on a fly that was flying near the window. Then Naruto remembered that the Nara clan might know something about how to properly release chakra and realized that their techniques had a lot in common. And Naruto decided that tomorrow he should find out, but he still couldn't sleep and couldn't think of anything better than releasing all his chakra. Naruto released his chakra and for a few seconds Konoha completely froze. Naruto immediately fell exhausted and fell asleep. Naruto woke up from a knock on the door. "Naruto, you there? Wake up, you have to go to ANBU training." A stranger knocked on the door. Naruto walked up and opened the door to see a very familiar ash blonde hairstyle. "Hello, Naruto sent me to court the third eye." Ash Hair did not have time to finish. "Did you guess Kakashi?" Naruto said with a smile. "What? But how?" Kakashi wanted to say something, but he couldn't say a word. "Kakashi, you can report that I will not be coming to training today," said Naruto. "Why?" "Although it's probably none of my business," said Kakashi and disappeared into a white haze. Naruto decided that today he would go to the academy, even though he didn't need to go there anymore, but he needed to talk to Shikamaru. Naruto, approaching the academy, as always saw that it was too noisy there. He hid the Konoha forehead protector under his sweater so that he wouldn't be asked unnecessary questions. Naruto entered the classroom and the first thing that caught his eye was a crowd of girls surrounding Sasuke, but he wasn't interested in him yet. Naruto saw that Shikamaru was sleeping as usual. Approaching him, Naruto said, "Yo, Shikamaru, are you awake?" said Naruto. "How can you sleep here with such noise?" Shikamaru grumbled. "Shikamaru, how do you feel about not sitting in class today?" Naruto said. "Why not? Today's lessons are boring anyway," Shikamaru answered, yawning. "Let's go to a training ground, there you can relax and train," said Naruto. Naruto and Shikamaru ran to the training ground where Itachi and Shisuya usually were, but Naruto realized that if the ANBU had training in the morning, Then this training ground was free. Naruto and Shikamaru approached the training ground. "Oh, from here you can see the clouds and they won't be blocked by anything," Shikamaru said in surprise. "Shikamaru, actually I called you with one request," said Naruto. "And what kind?" Shikamaru asked. "You know the shadow paralysis technique, right?" Naruto asked, hoping that Shikamaru knew how to use shadows. "Yes, but not as good as my father. I can only make my shadow out to a meter," Shikamaru replied. "Okay, if he explains the principle of operation to me, I will be able to improve this technique. Can you explain how you do it?" Naruto asked. And Shikamaru spent 15 minutes trying to explain to Naruto how to release a shadow, but Naruto couldn't do anything. And I was hoping that you would succeed. Apparently only the Nara clan is allowed to control shadows. Shikamaru sighed and lay down on the ground to look at the clouds. "Well, it was worth trying to release the shadow, okay, and now I'll try to release chakra using the same principle." Naruto concentrated and a thin thread of chakra came out of him that was difficult to notice, but Naruto saw it. "So now we need to try to find it or wait for Itachi and Shursui to arrive. I want to check if their eyes could see this thread. I should go to the third one and ask if he knows where they are," Naruto thought. Naruto used Kurama's cloak and ran towards the third's office. A few seconds later, he was already there. "Hiruzen, do you know where Itachi and Shisuya are?" Naruto asked. "Naruto, we've been looking for you everywhere. Itachi and Shisuya went on a mission. You should go with them since you're on the same team as them," Hiruzen replied. "I'm on the same team with them, hooray!" Naruto thought. "So where are they?" Naruto asked. "I sent them to find one Sannin. They went towards the Rain Village. If you hurry you can catch up with them," Hiruzen said and pointed his finger at the map. Naruto ran towards the Rain Village and caught up with the team after 2 hours. "Oh Naruto, where have you been? We were looking for you and when we couldn't find you, we went without you," said Shisuya. "And you didn't think to look at the training ground?" Naruto said. "We forgot about the training ground. By the way, Naruto, where is your mask and protector?" said Itachi. "Wait a minute now," said Naruto and started to take out his mask and protector. "Well, now he looks more or less like an ambusnik," said Kakashi and commanded to move on. "Naruto, by the way, we were thinking that you could use your technique to cover us with your chakra so that in case of danger, no damage would pass through us. But only so that we could move. By the way, what did you call this technique?" Shisuya asked. "I still don't know how to allocate chakra so that it doesn't stop, and the technique is called Time Shard," said Naruto. "You came up with a cool name, well done, and as for what you can't do, I hope you'll be able to learn by the end of our mission," said Kakashi. "So what kind of Sannin are we looking for?" Naruto asked. "Jirai, he is a toad sage, and he has not sent news about one organization for a long time," said Itachi. "I hope Jiraiya is okay," Naruto said, and his excitement washed over him, causing him to speed up. "Naruto, don't run forward, it's dangerous," said Kakashi. And at that very moment Kakashi saw a tiger jump on Naruto, who was apparently sitting on a tree, but the tiger stopped a meter from Naruto, which is why it hung on the ground for a second and lost all its speed and began to fall down. I don't think there's any need to worry about Naruto, but it would be a shame for the tiger to fall from such a distance," said Shisuya. Naruto ran ahead and soon saw a small village and stopped. "So let's spend the night here today, and tomorrow we'll continue our journey." Itachi Shisuya tried to find clues. Kakashi commanded. Naruto stood and looked at this village, and Kakashi came up and asked, "There's still plenty of time before sunset, don't you want to train?" Kakashi asked. "Yeah, that would be nice," said Naruto. "Don't worry so much, he's fine anyway. The legendary Sannin couldn't have died, although if there had been at least some source of the smell, things would have gone faster," said Kakashi. "I was thinking, Kakashi, I'll go look for him here. Something tells me I can do it better than Itachi and Shursui," said Naruto and went towards the village. Entering the village, Naruto decided to first check all the public baths. But alas, they were empty. Naruto decided to have a snack and went into some cafe. After drinking coffee and eating, he felt a little strange and went to the toilet. Entering the booth, he passed out and heard a conversation in his sleep. Well, would such a shinobi suit you? He looks pretty strong. You really surprise me. Every time you send us excellent goods, I think this boy will cost less than that Sannin. How much do you want for him? Minus 5,000 Rio will be enough. Share. And Naruto didn't hear anything else. Naruto opened his eyes and woke up in some basement chained up. There were a few other people in the room with him, among whom he saw a familiar face and cried because in his world he died. It was Jiraiya who was beaten and knocked out, but he was still breathing. Naruto tried to break the chains, but nothing happened, but Jiraiya woke up from the noise. Hey kid, don't make noise, you won't be able to break them anyway. Jiraiya croaked. You are Jiraiya. I am here with the team to find out why you are not sending more falcons to Konoha, said Naruto. Can you tell me your name, kid? Asked Jiraiya. I'm Naruto. So you are Naruto. You are unlucky to get here. Here for any mistake they kick you no worse than Tsunade, although you probably don't know her, said Naruto. Well, get out, I thought of something, said Naruto. Then get out, but be quiet, otherwise you'll be like me, said Jiraiya. Naruto began to release a thread of chakra that reached the chain, and Naruto decided to use the time split that he originally possessed. Boy, your eyes are strange, they look like an hourglass, said Jiraiya. Naruto's chakra touched the chain and Naruto was lucky because the chain disappeared, but he could have been unlucky and he would have died from the lightning that would have conducted the chain. Naruto stood up and began to create a Rasengan and hit Jiraiya's chain with it. It could not withstand the blow and broke. Jiraiya was able to stand up, but he could not use his hands because they were still in the chains. Naruto decided that it was better not to try to use the time split because no element could harm the chain, well, except disappearance and wind elements. They could still damage the chain, but there was a small chance of them falling out. Naruto, I'm surprised, but can you free my hands the same way you broke the chains on my legs? Jiraiya asked. I'm not sure I can hit you without hurting you, Naruto replied. Suddenly Naruto heard loud sounds. What was that? Okay, was not was, said Naruto and decided to use the time split hoping that the chain would be cut or disappear. But everything went wrong. The chain started to melt and Jiraiya started to scream in pain. Naruto didn't know what to do, but if he didn't do anything, only a word would remain from Jiraiya's hands. Naruto started to quickly go through everything he could do and didn't come up with anything better than to use a time split on Jiraiya until he figured out what to do. The guards came running from Jiraiya's scream, but Naruto killed them right away using a time split. They died from lightning. The people who were there also woke up. Hey kid, whoever you are, free me and I'll help your friend, said the man with a scar on half his face. Naruto, without thinking twice, hit both the chain and the chain on the man's hands with the Rasengan. Naruto realized that if he had just hit the chain on Jiraiya's hands with the Rasengan, nothing would have happened and Jiraiya's hands would have been fine. Okay, I'll try. The man with the scar began to control the molten iron, but the iron did not move because of the split in time. Hey kid, help me, I can't move this iron. Naruto focused on the molten iron and it began to move. The scarred man put away the molten iron and ran towards the door. Phew, danger ahead. Kurama, I thought of it, we can switch places, otherwise I think I'll fall asleep now, said Naruto. Okay Naruto, rest, I'll deal with everything, said Kurama and took control of the body. Thank you Kurama. I didn't have time to finish and fell asleep, so I need to check if I can use the time split. Kurama removed the time split from Jiraiya's body and he fell unconscious. Why do you keep losing consciousness? Kurama created a paw from chakra and headed towards the exit. At the exit, Kurama saw a familiar face with a scar, but already separated from the body. Kurama ran further and felt a familiar chakra. It was Kakashi, Itachi and Shisuya. But they were surrounded by shinobi and then Shisuya created a green Susanoo and killed everyone with one turnaround. Kurama approached them. Naruto, are you alive? Wait, is that Jiraiya with you? Itachi asked, breathing heavily. Yes, it is him, but I am not Naruto. I am the nine-tailed fox sitting inside him. Fox, is that you? Kakashi reached for his bag. No need. If you do this now you will get 2 useless bodies, said Kurama. What's wrong with Naruto? Shisuya asked. He's okay, he lost consciousness and I decided to get out of here, Kurama said. You're right about one thing, we need to get out of here, said Kakashi. Kurama and the others ran a kilometer away from there. Wait, I want to give them a parting gift. Kurama began to create a tailed bomb and threw it towards the fortress from which they were running, and then Kurama began to shoot fireballs from his mouth. They swirled around the flying ball. A second later, the projectile reached the fortress and a large explosion occurred. Everyone looked at this explosion with their mouths open. A minute later, they saw that where the fortress had stood, there was now a crater. Stop watching, let's move on already, Kurama shouted, and they continued to retreat from here. A few hours later, they reached Konoha. And they went to the hospital, where Naruto and Jiraiya, who was unconscious, remained. Kurama again switched bodies with Naruto and began to sleep. Naruto woke up from a knock on the door. At first he didn't understand where he was, but seeing that everything around was white, he guessed that this was a hospital. Come in, said Naruto, and his Umbu friends entered the room. Well, Naruto has recovered, said Itachi. I think so. How is Jiraiya? Naruto asked. Numerous fractures and a little peeling skin on his hands, but he'll live, said Kakashi. Forgive me, it's my fault, said Naruto. What are you apologizing for? Kakashi asked. Well, anyway. Naruto started to retell how he ended up in that fortress and tried to break Jiraiya's chain with a time split, but everything went wrong. So his skin peeled off because of the molten metal, Kakashi said, and a young girl in white entered the room. The girl approached the table and put down several jars of pills. So you'll drink this one before eating, and this one before going to bed. And the girl left the room. I hate pills, Naruto shouted. Naruto, what? You didn't understand? Shisuya asked. What should I understand? Naruto asked. Well, you're stupid. If she gave you these pills and said all this, then you're being discharged today, said Itachi. Hooray, I'm already tired of this situation, said Naruto, and ran to the window and, pushing off from it, jumped onto the roof of the neighboring house. Naruto, you forgot your pills, Itachi said, and held out his hand with the pills. Thank you, said Naruto. Naruto started thinking about what he should do today since the third one wouldn't give any tasks yet. And Naruto decided that he would wait until Jiraiya woke up and asked to be his student to master the Sannin mode. Naruto went to Ichiraku after taking a pill. Then he went to the hospital to look for the Sannin's ward. After 5 minutes of searching, he found it. Entering it, he saw Jiraiya's beaten body, and out of anger that he could allow this, he punched the wall. Having calmed down, Naruto sat down on a chair and began to doze. About 7 hours later, Jiraiya and Naruto woke up. Seeing Naruto sitting in his ward, Jiraiya felt warm in his heart. Naruto, why are you sitting here? Jiraiya asked. Good morning, although no evening, Jiraiya-sensei, said Naruto, smiling. Sensei? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I decided that I will study with you, said Naruto. Let me think, you are quite strong and without my training, but there is something that I can teach you, said Jiraiya, and summoned a toad, which gave a scroll with a summoning with its tongue. Then everything went according to canon. They went to Mount Myaboku, when Naruto learned the art of Sannin. When Naruto learned everything he could and gained combat experience against Jiraiya, he went home. Upon arrival in Konoha, he was surprised at how quickly it was developing, and the first thing he did was go to the Hokage. Hiruzen, can I come in? Naruto asked, standing behind the door. Come in, said Hiruzen. So, what's new? Naruto asked. No, it would be better to tell how you killed Danzo? Hiruzen asked. So you found out that it was me. Okay, I'll tell you. Flashback. Naruto decided to go back to Konoha for a while to see his friends. The first thing he did was go to the training ground and saw Itachi and Shisuyu sitting there. Hello Itachi, Shisuya, said Naruto. Hello Naruto, the Uchiha said in unison. What are you talking about? Naruto asked. You see, the council decided that the Uchiha clan must be destroyed because of the impending revolution, said Itachi. And Itachi and I were ordered to do this, said Shisuya. We need to think about it. I thought, what if we kill the person who is pulling the strings? Said Naruto. You mean the third one? Shisuya said. No, not him, but Danzo, He always cares too much about Konoha, and it seems to me that this is his plan to become Hokage," said Naruto. Maybe you're right, but how do we prove it?" Itachi asked. "We'll sneak into his office and look for evidence," Naruto said. "Well, if it can save the Uchiha clan, then we will do it," said Shisuya. "By the way, where is Kakashi?" Naruto asked. "Well, he left Umbu and became a local teacher," said Itachi. And Naruto, Itachi and Shisuya ran towards the Umbu root base because that's where Danzo's office should most likely be. As they approached, they saw that the base was guarded by several people. "Naruto, can you do something?" Shisuya asked. "Yeah, right." Naruto used a time split and made it so that Shisuya and Itachi could move. "Ready, we can go," said Naruto, and with a confident gait they walked past the guards. "So guys, I suggest we split up and find Danzo's office. If we find it, we send a signal in the form of a sparrow's chirping," Shisuya said, and everyone supported him. Naruto started searching. After a few minutes, he heard a chirping and ran towards the sound. Danzo's office was found by Itachi, but there was one small problem. Danzo himself was sitting in it. "Don't worry, it's to our advantage. We won't even need to look for him," Naruto said, and they all started looking for evidence. After reading several hundred documents, Shisuya found Danzo's diary, where it was said that he had set everything up so that the Uchiha would hate the Hokage and start a coup. Naruto, having read this, immediately killed Danzo with a kunai. He knew that Danzo could use Izanagi, and therefore decided to play it safe, played it safe and dispelled the time rift on him. He did not give any rustle or emotion, and Naruto checked if he was breathing. He was not breathing. Itachi and Shisuya went to the Hokage with the diary. Naruto used reverse summoning. End of flashback. "So that's how it all was. Okay, I'm not mad at you. Do you remember your group, who you studied with?" asked Hiruzen. "Yes," answered Naruto. "They will have the third stage of the Chunin exam tomorrow, and I wanted you to look at them," said Hiruzen. "I will definitely come," said Naruto, and remembered that in his world during the third stage, Orochimaru attacked Konoha. Naruto went to look for Shisuya because tomorrow his strength would be useful. But he was not at the training ground, and Naruto decided to go straight to his home. First he went to the Uchiha quarter where life was in full swing. There he asked where Shisuya lived, and Naruto went to his house. Shisuya's house was not too big, but not too small either. Naruto came up and rang the bell. Shisuya came out of the door. "Hello Naruto, come in," said Shisuya, and they walked into the hall. "Shisuya, tomorrow you can do me a favor and use your Kodo Amatsukami eye on the person I show you," said Naruto. "Okay, I'll do you this favor, because you helped and our clan wasn't destroyed," Shisuya said. "Okay Shisuya, do you want to train a little?" Naruto asked. "I wanted to offer you this myself. I can't wait to learn your power, but you don't have to use the time split," Shisuya said. "Okay," said Naruto, and they went to the training ground. The result of the fight was this: Naruto defeated Shisuya without even breaking a sweat, even though Shisuya used everything he could. "Well, Shisuya, let's go eat something and then go home?" Naruto said. "Let's go," said Shisuya, and they went to Ichiraku. Afterwards they parted and went home. At home Naruto thought that he needed to become even stronger so that when he met Mikata he would immediately kill him. And Naruto went to bed. Naruto woke up and went to eat at Ichiraku, then he went to get Shursui. A few minutes later he was at his house. Naruto rang the bell and Shursui came out ready. And together they headed to the stadium. "Naruto, do you want news?" said Shisuya. "Which one?" Naruto asked. "Hiruzen came to me this morning and said that I will be the examiner," said Shisuya. "That's cool, but you haven't forgotten what we talked about yesterday. If anything happens you should be next to me right away." Yes, I remember, but I'm so curious to see how strong this generation will be," Shisuya said with anticipation. "And you also saw Gaara when he fights. Make sure he doesn't kill anyone," said Naruto. "Yes, I heard about him. They say that in the second stage he almost killed his opponent. But they didn't give him what he wanted," said Shisuya. While they were chatting, they saw Itachi and Sasuke walking together. Naruto and Shisuya decided to join them. "Hello Sasuke, Itachi, you're going to the exam too?" said Naruto. Hello Naruto, we can fight after the exam. I just can't believe that at 8 years old you became Anbu. Even my brother became Anbu at 11. Said Sasuke. Itachi, what did you tell him? Naruto asked. Well, yes, he himself asked me to find out about you, so I told him. Said Itachi. Sasuke, who are you fighting? Shisuya asked. Gaara, I've been wondering for a long time how strong he is. Said Sasuke, and they approached the stadium together. Itachi and Naruto put on their masks, and Shisuya went to the center of the stadium to greet everyone. Meanwhile, Itachi and Naruto stood near the Hokage as bodyguards. The first fight was between Neji Hyuga and Uchiha Mu. As a result of the duel, Neji won by closing all of his opponent's chakra points. The second fight was between Shikamaru Nara and Temari, where Shikamaru should have been the winner, but he surrendered. Next we have a fight between Sasuke, Uchiha and Gaara. Said Shisuya. Well, Gaara, here we meet, now you're going to lose. Sasuke immediately activated the Sharingan and began to create Chidori. Gaara was calm and began to try to catch Sasuke with his sand, but he immediately put away his Chidori and began to run at such a speed that only the Jounin could see his silhouette. Gaara surrounded himself with sand and decided to use the feigned sleep technique. Naruto, noticing something was wrong, was about to intervene when he saw that Sasuke had started using Chidori again. Sasuke's Chidori pierced Gaara's sand ball and he screamed in pain. So this is what it means to feel pain, Gaara said and dispelled his ball. At the same time, the Kazekage began to speak. Well, teacher, shall we have some fun? Said Orochimaru, taking off his Kazekage clothes. What Orochimaru is that you? Hiruzen said and got ready to fight. Shisuya! Naruto shouted. Shisuya immediately appeared next to Naruto. Naruto, you want me to use my eye on him? Said Shisuya. Ha ha ha, I don't know what you're up to, but you're going to die now. Orochimaru didn't have time to finish speaking before Naruto used a time split on him. Naruto, Shisuya, what are you planning? Hiruzen asked. No time to explain, Itachi, help your brother, we'll figure this out. Shisuya, use it. Said Naruto. Okay. Shisuya said and used Kodo Amatsukami on Orochimaru. Naruto removed the time rift from Orochimaru, and he immediately fell unconscious. It looks like it will take some time to subdue, said Shisuya. Hiruzen, what are we going to do with the Sand Village? Naruto asked. If Orochimaru is involved in all this, then most likely they will surrender. And then they all heard a loud sound from the walls of Konoha and saw a huge three-headed snake. So Hiruzen deal with this snake, Shisuya help the people who are fighting. Naruto pointed at Kakashi and Guy. Naruto, I didn't expect you to start commanding, but you're doing everything right, Hiruzen said and ran towards the snake. Naruto decided to help Sasuke and Itachi, although Itachi did not need help, but Sasuke was lying on the ground. And then something happened that Naruto did not want to see. Gaara went into his complete form and fell asleep. Yahoo, I'm free again, an interesting village, I want to see how it will be in a destroyed state, shouted Shikako. Naruto started to use the time split, but for some reason it didn't work. That the time split doesn't work, why? Naruto couldn't understand how suddenly Shikako started spinning and the stadium started collapsing. So if I can't stop him, I can definitely stop the destruction. And Naruto used the time split on the stadium. Naruto decided not to think long and wake up Gaara. Naruto using Kurama's cover jumped on Shikaku's head and hit Gaara, which woke him up. How dare you? Said Shikaku and began to crumble. That you are still alive, apparently the demon inside me is not as strong as I thought, said Gaara. Yes, there is a demon inside you and I understand your feelings, said Naruto. You know, people who are hated by everyone, their eyes are dull, like darkness burning in yours, said Gaara. Yes, you are right, I also had such eyes at first, but then they stopped seeing only a demon in me and started looking at me as an ordinary boy who, if you hit him, blood will flow, and therefore do not give up and you too will be recognized as me, said Naruto and saw that tears flowed from Gaara's eyes. So Gaara, let's be friends, said Naruto and extended his hand to Gaara. Do you really think they'll recognize me? Gaara said and shook Naruto's hand. Of course, if I was accepted as the nine-tailed demon of Konoha, who is considered the strongest in the whole world, then you will be accepted too," said Naruto, smiling. "Kurama, talk to Shikaku and tell him to start treating everyone normally," Naruto said to himself. "Okay, I'll persuade this raccoon," said Kurama. At the same time, Naruto saw Hiruzen destroy the snake with 3 heads. "Okay, you have another 15 minutes before I run out of chakra and the stadium starts to collapse," Naruto said, knowing that his comrades were standing behind him. Kakashi, Guy, Itachi and Shisuya, they all went to lead people out of the stadium. But there was little time, which is why half the people remained. "Gaara, you can help. Hold everything here with your sand until the people are taken away," said Naruto and fell to his knees. The stadium began to collapse, but Gaara held it for a few more minutes, during which time everyone was evacuated. But there was a chance that Naruto and Gaara would remain under the rubble due to loss of strength. The stadium began to collapse and Naruto and Gaara looked at the stone wall falling right on them, but they could not do anything. When the wall was 2 meters away from them, someone suddenly grabbed them and carried them to a safe place. "You're a good boy, Naruto, leave the rest to me and get some sleep," said Hiruzen. And Naruto passed out. Naruto woke up in the hospital. "Kurama, explain to me why I have woken up here instead of at home?" said Naruto, getting out of bed. "It's all because you're weak," Kurama said, laughing. "So you don't care that I can destroy the world in a second with my power, and you're still going to call me weak?" Naruto said. "Well, I can destroy this world, even if not in a second, but now I have a question for you. You said a few years ago that you wanted to become Hokage at 14, said Kurama. "Yes, I said it without thinking, because the Hokage has many different concerns, sitting in the office 24/7 and signing papers, so I don't want to be the Hokage anymore," said Naruto. "After listening to you, I now understand that if you become Hokage, we will practically not fight. Okay, Naruto, I think I'll sleep," Kurama said and lay down, covering his eyes with his paws. "Then I'll go tell the same thing to the Hokage," said Naruto and went to the window, but heard a knock on the door. "Come in," said Naruto, and Sasuke entered the room. "Well, hello Naruto, remember you promised to fight me?" said Sasuke. "Yes, I remember, but not now, or do you want to fight when I feel bad?" said Naruto. "You're right, there's no point in fighting now, and where are you going?" Sasuke asked. "I'll go to the Hokage, maybe I'll learn something new. If you want, let's go together," said Naruto. "Okay, I'll go with you, otherwise you'll fall somewhere along the way," said Sasuke. "You are so caring, Sasuke, just like your brother," said Naruto, smiling. Sasuke didn't know what to answer, and they walked together to the Hokage, barely talking on the way. Naruto and Sasuke approached the Hokage's office. "You can come in," said Hiruzen. "Third, but how did you understand that they came to you? We didn't even knock," said Sasuke. "You see, Sasuke, Naruto moves silently, and you, against his background, are like a tailed beast that wants to attract attention," Hiruzen said, smiling. "Hiruzen, is there anything interesting?" Naruto asked. "Well, Orochimaru got hit by the stadium rubble, but he survived by pulling himself out of his old body. I immediately found a use for him and sent him to make pills to increase strength without a negative effect. The stadium is being restored now. By the way, the Hokage's place is ready for you," said Hiruzen. "Thank you, of course, but I thought about it and realized that I don't want to become Hokage, too much trouble," said Naruto. "So that's how it is. I have a gift for you. I made an agreement with the country of Iron to train you and your friends," said Hiruzen, looking at Sasuke. "And what will they teach us there?" Naruto asked. "Well, when you come from there, you will be on the same level as me, using only a katana," said Hiruzen. Naruto thought that to defeat the main enemy he would need this power, and if this would make his friends stronger, it would be even better. "Okay, I agree, you can show us on the map the place where we need to go," said Naruto. "Here are the courts, and I'm telling you right away that they won't accept you there with a red carpet. You'll have to get to the main thing using only taijutsu, and your main task is not to kill anyone," said Hiruzen, pointing to the country of Iron. "I wonder if this is how they will test our strength," said Naruto. "Well, yes, and for the duration of this mission, let's say, you will be the captain. The deadline for your arrival there is the day after tomorrow. If you don't make it, they won't wait for you there, and if you get in there, you will be considered criminals," said Hiruzen. "Sasuke, tell your brother to be at the Konoha gates in 10 minutes and explain to him everything you heard here," said Naruto, and jumping out the open window ran to Shisui's house. A minute later Naruto was already ringing the bell and Shisuya came out of the house. Naruto explained everything to him and began to wait for Shisuya to get ready. After 2 minutes Shisuya came out dressed as an ANBU, but without a mask. And they went to the gates of Konoha, where Itachi and Sasuke came a few minutes later. "Well, is everyone ready? Then I'll tell you a little. We should get there today. The evening will be the deadline, understood?" said Naruto, and saw nods. "Then let's go," said Naruto, and they ran towards the land of iron. After walking away from Konoha, Naruto stopped. "Naruto, what's wrong with you?" Itachi asked. "Wait a second," said Naruto. "Kurama, can I use your chakra and take them all?" Naruto asked. "Yes," said Kurama. Naruto began to take on the form of Kurama at full height, but only from chakra. "Wow, Naruto," said Sasuke. "Now we'll run a little faster, but we'll be too noticeable," Naruto said and ran again. After 4 hours they were at the border of the land of iron. And Naruto removed Kurama's cloak and everyone fell down. "Was that your plan?" Shisuya asked. "Well, in general yes, from now on we will go on foot and be ready," said Naruto, and seeing the village ran there. After 15 minutes they reached the village where Naruto learned that it would take 2 days to walk to the main fortress of the country of iron. But Naruto realized that they had at most 2 hours to walk. And they set off again. And after 2 hours they saw the fortress. "Naruto, what are we going to do?" "There's some pretty serious security there," said Itachi. "We will act covertly. At 3 o'clock in the morning we will penetrate the fortress and knock out people at a minimum. And until then Sasuke make a fire, Shisuya find something to eat, Itachi put up a tent. Also everyone should know the password. It will be the same as what I said when I spoke with the Hokage," Naruto said, and began to think if they would understand that it was a question and not a password. "Naruto, what are you going to do?" Sasuke asked. "It's a stupid question to watch and think," said Naruto, and started thinking. An hour later everything was ready and Naruto's team did everything that was needed. Naruto sat and still thought. "So I can't think of anything normal," said Naruto, and created several clones and sent them out to scout. Everything was fine in the camp and no one failed the password. After 15 minutes, Shisuya called Naruto to eat. "I'll be there in a minute," Naruto said, and realized that one clone had dissolved, and he realized that there was a hole on the western side of the wall that he could crawl through. Naruto ordered his clones to check if there was a trap there, and he went to eat. "Naruto, have you figured out how we can get into this fortress?" Itachi asked. "The plan is this, Shisuya. You use a clone of Susanoo and send it to attack the main passage, and we will go through from the western side," said Naruto. "So you decided to distract attention so that we could pass unnoticed," said Shisuya. Sasuke started to think if he could think it all through like that. Everyone ate and Naruto told everyone to go to bed. "Kurama, replace me while I sleep. I allow you to use my body until 2 a.m., said Naruto, and changed places with Kurama. "Okay, I won't let them be harmed. If someone attacks us, I can kill him, right?" said Kurama. "You can knock me out, but don't kill me," said Naruto, and fell asleep. A few minutes later Kurama felt a strong chakra that was about 30 meters from the camp. And Kurama ran in that direction and saw 2 people in black cloaks. Seeing that these 2 had quite strong chakra, Kurama decided that he needed to notify Naruto about them. "Naruto!" Kurama shouted. "What?" said Naruto, yawning. "Well, there are 2 strong shinobi here and they are aggressive, so I decided to tell you about it," said Kurama. "Listen, Kurama, I feel only 2 weak chakras, so don't wake me up for nothing," said Naruto, and fell asleep in his subconscious. "So he doesn't think they are strong, then they are weak for me too," Kurama said with a grin. "Sasori, look who we ran into," said Deidara. "Yes, it's good that when we were flying I caught his chakra. Well, the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed is ready to die," said Sasori. Kurama just smiled at this. "Are you ready?" said Kurama, and used a time split on Sasori and Deidara. "Okay then, I'll take you to the camp. It's a pity I can't kill you," Kurama said and dragged the two to the camp. A few hours later, Kurama woke Naruto up. Naruto saw that they were Akatsuki members and was surprised. "So that means you were worried about them," said Naruto. "Yes, I barely restrained myself from killing them," said Kurama. "Well, actually, you could have killed one of them," said Naruto, pointing at Sasori. "Why didn't I ask you this before, Naruto? Let me use your body again," said Kurama. "Okay, I'll let you, but for one favor you'll beat all the information about the time of the tailed beasts gathering out of this," Naruto said, pointing at Deidara, and changed places with Kurama. Kurama slowly approached Sasori and cancelled the time split, and now Sasori could move and feel pain, but could not move. Kurama began to tear out his arms and legs, but quickly realized that he was a doll and he did not feel pain. "Well, what's surprising? I made a doll out of myself and I don't feel pain anymore," said Sasori. "Well, we'll check that now," Kurama said, and seeing something that looked like a heart, he squeezed it. "Aya!" Sasori shouted. "And if so?" said Kurama, and completely squeezed the heart. After that, Sasori died and Kurama went to torture Deidara and also removed the time split from him. After 15 minutes of torture, Deidara began to tell and Naruto regained control over his body and began to ask. Question 1. How many tailed beasts did you collect? Naruto said. "We haven't started collecting them yet," said Deidara. Question 2. When do you plan to start collecting them? Naruto said. "Next week." "How many more questions?" said Deidara. "As much as I want." Question 3. Where is your base located? Said Naruto, pulling a kunai out of his bag. "Okay, I'll tell you, just don't kill. Our shelter is in the land of rain," said Deidara. "Good job, Deidara, now go," said Naruto, and completely removed the time split from Deidara. Deidara immediately created a bird and flew away. "Although you know what, die," Naruto shouted and killed Deidara with a time split. Deidara felt that time around him stopped and realized that he would not live. Deidara turned into a stone that fell to the ground and broke into several pieces. That's cool, you can make statues of people to order." Naruto laughed and went to wake up the others. "That we are already moving," said Shisuya, and saw blood and a corpse lying nearby. "Naruto, who is this?" Shisuya asked. "And that was an Akatsuki member. He was passing by, so I killed him, and that destroyed statue of a man was also from there," said Naruto, pointing at Deidara. "So that's how it is," said Shisuya. "Good morning, Naruto," said Itachi. "Yes, it's morning, but it's too early. Listen, I won't go to the fortress with you, my clone will go with you, I have some things to do," Naruto said and created a clone. "I guess I shouldn't ask what you have to do," Shisuya said. "Well, I'll tell you what my business is. I'll go gather the tailed beasts together until next week. I hope I can handle it," said Naruto. "Why do you need tailed beasts?" Sasuke asked, yawning. "My main task is to protect them and the owners, so my clone will show you how to get into the fortress," said Naruto and ran towards the sand village. "Well, let's go," said Naruto's clone. And the team went to the hole in the wall of the fortress. Approaching the fortress, everyone began to act according to the plan. Shisuya created a clone of Susanoo and sent him along with the rest to attack the main gate. When almost all the guards were distracted, the team climbed into the hole in the wall and began to move behind the clone of Naruto because he already knew the layout. A few minutes later they reached the main building, using the replacement technique, and they were already walking as if they were their own. But several people approached them and the clone of Naruto began to speak. "Hello, the boss sent us here to help with the enemies near the gate," said clone. "What is your group?" B017. Clone said he knew that they were the ones who had to replace them at that time. "Okay, guard the main building, and we'll go have some fun." And they ran to the main enemies. "Naruto, when did you manage to do it? I didn't even know what to say," said Shisuya. "In such missions you always have to think ahead. Let's say what will happen if these people run into our group," said clone. "That will be very bad," Sasuke said. "Yes, it will be bad. That's why group B017 was eliminated by me," said clone. "Naruto, you are a good strategist," said Itachi. "Okay, enough chatting, and if someone else comes to us, I will do the talking," said Naruto and went into the main building. It was almost entirely made of stone and there were several columns. The team moved on. After a while, Naruto stopped. "We won't get through this without a fight," said Naruto. "What do you mean you didn't find out anything?" Itachi asked. "I only know that behind those doors is the office of the main person we need to see, and also that guard never changes," said Clone. "Can you use Time Rift?" Sasuke asked. "Unfortunately, a clone can't do that," said the clone. "Okay Naruto, can I deal with them?" said Itachi. "And remember, don't kill and don't make a lot of noise," Clone said. Itachi walked confidently towards the guards. "Who are you and what are you doing here? Don't you want to get some sleep?" Itachi asked and put the guards in genjutsu. The team ran up. "Well done Itachi, clean work, now everyone, create clones, they will go in first," said Clone and created another clone. Only the clones went forward, opening the doors they immediately dispersed. "You are great," said a slightly old man. "It was a trap then," said Clone. "Yes, and since you got here unharmed, I will train you and you can come in, and could you remove your clones from the main gate, there is too much noise from there," said the man. "I'm Naruto, and this is Sasuke, Itachi and Shisuya, what are your names?" the clone asked. "I am Mifune and you have thought out a pretty good plan and you were not even touched by my samurai. We will have to make them retrain, Machi come here," Mifune shouted and a young girl entered the office. "Please show our guests their rooms," said Mifune. "Yes, sir," said Machi and taking Naruto and Shisuya by the hands led them to the rooms. "This is where you will live, food, water and toilet can be found on this floor," Machi said and left the room. "So we will all live here together," said Naruto. "And she's quite cute," said Shisuya. "Shisuya, are you in love?" Itachi asked. "No, I'm just expressing my opinion," said Shisuya. "Okay, let's go to bed, I'll tell you right away. If you wake me up, please don't hit me too hard," said Naruto clone. "Where is the real Naruto now?" Sasuke asked. "He has just entered the sand village," said clone. "I see, okay, let's go to bed," said Itachi and turned off the light. Clone Naruto created another clone who crawled under the bed just in case, and also went to bed. Naruto woke up, but realized that he was not where he left off yesterday. Naruto looked around and saw Hagoromo. "Naruto, I have good and bad news for you, which one should I start with?" said Hagoromo. Let's start with the bad one," said Naruto. "I will die soon, and the good news is that all my power will pass to you and you will become the new sage of the Six Paths," said Hagoromo. "What do you mean you're dying and there's no way to influence it?" Naruto asked. "Unfortunately, it is impossible. The stronger you become, the faster I fall apart," Hagoromo said and raised his hand and a piece of his nail fell off. "So if I stop getting stronger you'll stay alive?" Naruto asked. "Yes, but also humanity will perish from Mukata," said Hagoromo and put his hand on Naruto's head and showed his future. "What to do then?" Naruto asked. "I have accepted that I will die, and you become stronger. Within 3 weeks I will completely fall apart, but also within 3 weeks you will be practically immortal and any wounds will be nothing to you," said Hagoromo. "Then your fate cannot be changed," said Naruto. "And by the way, I told one person about you and he agreed to help you. His name is Otsutsuki Nato, he is my uncle," said Hagoromo. "That you have an uncle, that is, Kagaya had a brother?" Naruto asked. "Yes, and he is quite strong, but he won't be able to defeat Mukata," said Hagoromo. "Okay, I hope he's like you," said Naruto. "Okay Naruto, goodbye," said Hagoromo and Naruto woke up. Naruto woke up near the main building, because Naruto knew that Gaara was now the Kazekage. And Naruto decided to go say hello to Gaara, but also told Kurama about the conversation with Hagoromo, to which he was surprised and began to ask questions, but Naruto himself did not really understand anything. Naruto approached the Kazekage's office before this, putting the guards in genjutsu. "Hello Gaara," said Naruto with a smile. "Hello Naruto, how come my friend came here?" Gaara asked. "Yes, I found out about one organization that hunts tailed beasts, and I came to protect you and take you away from the village," said Naruto. An organization that hunts tailed beasts, and you can't defeat them? Gaara asked. No, they are too strong. Naruto lied, because he came up with an interesting plan. And what should we do then? Because if you can't defeat them, then it means that nowhere is safe, said Gaara. Yes, right now, nowhere is safe, but I thought if they are hunting for the tailed beasts, then why not help them? Said Naruto. What do you mean? Gaara asked warily. We will gather in one place, and when they attack we will destroy them all together, said Naruto. There is some truth in your words, but where can the nine-tailed beasts hide for this time? Gaara asked. Don't worry about that, we'll go to the ruined village of the Whirlpool. No one lives there and it's more or less safe. And one more thing, you can pour a glass of shikaku into some object, said Naruto. Okay, I'll write a note now about who I'm leaving in my place and I'll go with you, Gaara said and started writing a note. A few minutes later, Gaara finished writing the note and walked with Naruto. Are we going to the land of the Whirlpool now? Gaara asked. We'll go there after we collect all the tailed beasts. The most important thing is to make it before next week. They plan to start collecting the tailed beasts next week, Naruto said. How did you know? Gaara asked. I overheard their conversation. Naruto lied. I see, so who are we going to now? Gaara asked. To the Jinchuriki of the Two-Tailed, to the settlement of the Cloud, said Naruto. And Naruto and Gaara ran to the Cloud Country. Meanwhile, in the fortress of the Metal Country, Clone and everyone else were sent to their training. Naruto's clone was learning swordsmanship. Itachi, Shisuya and Sasuke were learning military affairs so that in case of danger they could come up with several working rules on how to win. Escape. But Naruto did not need this because he easily thought out a plan on how to get into the fortress. And therefore, Clone tried his best not to get hit so as not to disappear, which is why he began to train very quickly. At the end of the day, when Clone came into the room, he immediately disappeared and Naruto noticed this. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Gaara asked. The clone dissipated and all his experience and fatigue were transferred to me, but it is also interesting that the clone thought of creating another clone that was sleeping, said Naruto, who was kneeling from fatigue. So it's good that we managed to get to that cloud settlement where the Jinchuriki of the Two-Tailed One lives, said Gaara. Yes, that's good, but I'm too tired to look for anyone, Gaara, so while I'm hobbling to the nearest diner, look for the Jinchuriki, said Naruto, picking up a stick like a cane. Okay, do you need help? Gaara asked. No, said Naruto. Naruto hobbled to the diner for about 15 minutes, and Kurama gloated over him the whole time. Naruto entered the diner and saw a rather familiar face, but he didn't know what to say to her. It was Tsunade sitting with Shizen. But there was no need to say anything. Tsunade, seeing how the young boy entered with a cane like an old man, couldn't resist and laughed. Kid, forgive me of course, but how did you manage to do this? Said Tsunade. Tsunade can't laugh at people, said Shizen. You see, I trained and failed to calculate my strength. Naruto lied. You said you miscalculated your strength. You don't look that strong, Tsunade said. Maybe we should help him? Shizen said. I could help if it was a wound or something, but it's just fatigue, Tsunade said. Okay, then I'll go, said Naruto. No, wait, let me order you something, said Tsunade. If you want, said Naruto. Tsunade ordered food. While Naruto ate, Tsunade asked him what he was training on, to which Naruto began to answer in a way that would make Tsunade want to teach him something. Naruto eventually learned the basic healing techniques to heal a simple wound and began asking to be taught how to treat more serious injuries or wounds. Tsunade ordered a drink and continued teaching Naruto. You're a good boy, Naruto. You've mastered the entire base of healing techniques in a few hours. Now all you have to do is practice and that's it, said Tsunade. Yes, I always knew that I was capable, said Naruto and saw that Gaara came in with a girl. Naruto, I've been looking for you everywhere. And who is this? Gaara asked. This is Shizen and Tsunade. Who am I thinking of with you? Naruto asked. Hello, you're Naruto. Gaara told me a little about you. By the way, my name is Yujito. Hello, Yujito. Gaara, are we ready to go? Naruto asked. Yes, said Gaara. Okay, bye. said Naruto looking at Tsunade and Shizen. Bye, said Tsunade and Shizen in unison. Naruto went out and decided to continue his journey for the three-tailed that lived at the bottom of the lake. But Naruto also created a clone that climbed onto the roof and fell asleep. Yujito, before we leave, you can put the tailed beast's chakra into this kunai. Naruto held out the kunai. Okay, but why is this? Yujito asked. I'm interested too, said Gaara. So that when that organization came and found only items with the tailed beast's chakra, and so that until then they would think that the tailed beast was still here, said Naruto. Naruto's real plan was for Akatsuki to extract the tailed beast's chakra from objects and create a 10-tailed beast without killing, although not as strong as in canon. But if Madara becomes the 10-tailed beast's Jinchuriki, then Shisuya will be able to somehow use the Kodo Amatsukami again. Then Naruto will have very strong reinforcements on his side. Okay, let's go to one lake, namely to the bottom, Naruto said and laughed. And they all went to the lake. By morning they reached the lake where the three-tailed one should live. But Naruto didn't know how he would move it. And he began to go through all the possible techniques that he knew, but still didn't understand. Meanwhile, somewhere on the moon. So my nephew said that somewhere here is the person whom I must help. I must try to use sensory abilities and find him, said Nato and folded his hands. After a few seconds he felt a strong chakra that was getting stronger with each passing minute. Most likely it's him, said Nato and teleported to Naruto. What? Who are you? Naruto said, jumping back a few meters. I am Nato Otsutsuki and I have come to train you and help you in the battle with Mikata. And what is your name? I am Naruto Uzumaki, so it was you that Hagoromo was talking about, said Naruto. Naruto, do you know him? Gaara asked. No, but I think he can be trusted, said Naruto and saw an almost transparent Hagoromo. Naruto, come and touch Nato with your hand, I need to talk to him, said Hagoromo. Naruto walked up and touched Nato with his hand. Hagoromo, I thought you would meet me personally, and why are you falling apart? Nato asked. Hagoromo told Nato that he would soon die and Naruto would become the new sage. So that's how it is, said Nato. Will you fulfill my request? Hagoromo asked. As for Naruto's protection and training, of course, okay Hagoromo, as long as I know that every second speeds up your death, said Nato and removed Naruto's hand. Well Naruto, did you hear everything? I will train you, but only in 3 weeks. Until then, I will sometimes fulfill your requests, said Nato. Can you move a large object from one point to another? Naruto asked. Yes, I can. Who needs to be moved? Nato asked. Wait a few hours, okay? Naruto asked and saw that Nato nodded. Gaara, any ideas on how we can get to the bottom? Naruto asked. I could try to get there with sand, but I'm afraid it would get wet quickly and it would be harder for me to control it, Gaara said. Yujito, I have some ideas. We either need to go down or for the three-tailed to come out on its own, said Naruto. We can try to launch some fireballs at the surface of the water, Yujito said. Can I help you? Nato asked. If you can, said Naruto. Then go away, said Nato, and feeling the tailed beast's chakra used it on him. Banshu Tenin pulled the tailed beast to the surface. Gaara and Yujito were surprised, unlike Naruto, who immediately remembered Nagato. As soon as the three-tailed came out, his cry was emitted. Who dared to pull me out of the water? I am a three-tailed demon and I will kill you, said the three-tailed, but seeing that there were 3 Jinchuriki in front of him, he changed his mind. Okay, I won't kill you, and what do my friends need from me? Said the three-tailed, addressing not the Jinchuriki, but the tailed ones. Sanbai, listen to my Jinchuriki, he will tell you, said Kurama. Jinchuriki of the 9-tailed fox, tell me everything, said Sanbai. Naruto started to talk about why he was collecting the tailed beasts, and what he wanted to do with them, and what would happen if he stayed here. Sanbai listened attentively, and started to speak. What's your name, kid? Sanbai asked. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, do you agree to come with us? Naruto asked. Yes, but if I go in this form we will attract a lot of attention. Wait a second. Sanbai has shrunk in size. How could I forget that you can shrink? Naruto said and hit himself on the forehead with his hand. So who's going to carry me now? Sanbai asked. Let me. Yujuto said and picked up Sanbai. So let's go after the four-tailed one to the village of the hidden rock. Naruto said and set off. When Naruto started to move out, Nato said that he had things to do and left. On the way to the village, the tailed beasts were talking to each other. Naruto tried to put in his bit in the tough moments so that the tailed beasts wouldn't start to go wild. Meanwhile, in the land of metal, the Uchihas were learning swordsmanship, and Naruto's clone showed himself to be excellent in training and went to learn to control his emotions. By evening, Naruto's team reached the village of the hidden rock, where Naruto ordered Gaara and Yujuto to look for a man named Rashi, and he himself, together with Sanbai, went to look for a place where he could relax. After 30 minutes, Naruto came across hot ground. Sanbai, could this be a geothermal source? Naruto asked. Naruto lowered Sanbai to the ground. It's most likely him, said Sanbai. Get away, said Naruto and created a Rasengan and hit the ground. After some time, Naruto made a large hole into which water began to flow. Naruto touched the water and felt that it was about 20 or a little more. Naruto undressed and climbed into this source and Sanbai joined him. Naruto remembered the moment in his head when he was at the source like this with Jiraiya and he made a funny joke. After about 15 minutes, Naruto decided to stop sitting in the source and decided to set up camp near the source. After 40 minutes, Gaara, Yujuto, Rashi and Han came. Naruto did not think that the Jinchuriki of the five-tailed Han would come with them. I heard from Rashi that you are gathering Jinchuriki to protect them, said Han. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Will you come with us? Naruto asked. Han and Rashi began to whisper to each other. We decided that we will go with you, said Khan. Then Han, Rashi and Sanbai put your chakra into these kunai, Naruto said and pulled out 3 kunai from his bag. What's wrong with us putting in our own chakra, and not the tailed beasts? Rashi asked. Actually, I wanted you to put in the tailed beast chakra, but I couldn't formulate it to say it correctly, said Naruto. So you are done, now stick these kunai into the ground, Naruto said and saw that they stuck the kunai into the ground. Why is that? Rashi asked. Gaara, explain to them why, and I'll go to sleep, said Naruto. Naruto's clone also dissipated and Naruto learned how to properly control his emotions. Kurama, if you want, you can use my body while I sleep, said Naruto. Oh, how long have I not talked to my friends? Said Kurama and took control. Naruto woke up in the camp. Sanbai was fast asleep next to him. Naruto got up carefully so as not to wake anyone, and decided to go for a swim in the spring. 30 minutes later Naruto returned to the camp where he saw that Rashi, Han and Gaara were talking about something. What are you talking about? Naruto asked and put his hand on Gaara's shoulder. And it's you, Naruto. Gaara was slightly scared. Gaara told us about your power. We are very surprised, Naruto. You can demonstrate your technique, said Han. Okay, here, said Naruto and used the time split on Rashi and Han. After 3 seconds Naruto removed the time split. So how is it? Naruto asked. Interesting technique, but what's more interesting is why your pupil has acquired the shape of an hourglass, said Khan. I don't know myself, but I already understood that if I use the time split to the full, 2 of my pupils turn into an hourglass, and if I just stop time, only 1, said Naruto. Cool ability, said Rashi. So what if we take everyone else and go after the 6-tailed one? Said Naruto and realized that it would be difficult to find him because at this time he should be on the run. Nato emerges from behind the bushes and says, So I'm done with my business, will someone feed me? Nato asked. Rashi and Han jumped up abruptly and did not understand whether it was a friend or an enemy. Rashi, Han, calm down, said Naruto. Oh, you found another Jinchuriki, well done, said Nato. Come on, Nato, we'll find something to eat now, said Naruto. Nato walked over to the dying fire and sat down on a log next to it. Naruto found a few packs of noodles in his bag. Nato, you can help, said Naruto. What? Nato asked. You can light a fire, said Naruto. Nato pointed his hand towards the fire and a spark flew out of his hand, which hit the wood and it immediately burst into a blue flame, but after a few seconds the flame changed its color to scarlet. So now let's make some noodles, Naruto said and put a pot of water over the fire and threw the noodles in. A few minutes later the noodles were completely cooked and everyone ate them quickly. Nato, can you find the six-tailed? Naruto asked. Yes, I have known for a long time where all the other tailed ones are, said Nato. Can you send us all to the six-tailed beast? Naruto said. Nato nodded and teleported everyone to the six-tailed beast. Except himself. Who are you and how did you get here? Utakata asked. We are all the same as you, said Naruto. The same as me. What do you mean? Utakata asked. We are Jinchuriki and we decided to all get together, said Naruto. So you are Jinchuriki and why did you unite? Utakata asked. We have united to defeat one organization that will soon start hunting us down with the goal of killing us. Naruto, did I say everything correctly? Kan said and saw Naruto nod. What kind of enemy is this that can easily deal with all the tailed beasts? Utakata asked. This is Akatsuki, an organization that wants to extract the tailed beast's chakra from us and seal it, said Naruto. So they want to pull the tailed beasts out of us to seal them, said Utakata. Yes, and that's why we came for you. Are you ready to go with us? Naruto asked. Okay, why not, if that way I'll be safer, said Utakata. Then Nato appeared and said, Naruto, why did you forget to put out the fire? I had to put it out for you, said Nato and hit Naruto on the head. Sorry, I completely forgot, Naruto said holding his head. So should we send you to the seven-tailed beast? Utakata asked. Yes, said Naruto and he and the others moved to the seven-tailed. A girl with green hair appeared before everyone. Who are you? Fu asked. Naruto introduced everyone. Yujuto, tell her everything, said Naruto and walked away from them. Naruto started to communicate with Kurama. After some time, Naruto was touched by someone. Naruto, you are here, oh, said Nato. Yes, I am here. What did she agree to? Naruto asked. Yes, she is with us and I am ready to send you to the eight-tailed, said Nato. Wait, I need to think of something, said Naruto and started thinking about what to do with the raikage. Well, I'll go for now and look for something edible, said Nato and went into the forest. Naruto couldn't think of anything better than to persuade him to let Killer Bee go. Naruto called Nato and they went to him. When they moved, Nato was eating some berries. In front of the Jinchuriki stood a man with more than 5 swords. Who are you? Killer Bee asked. I am Naruto Uzumaki, and this, introduce yourself, said Naruto. And why are you here? Killer Bee asked. Tell him everything, said Naruto and all the Jinchuriki started telling. After a few minutes, Killer Bee agreed to go with everyone, but on the condition that either his brother let him go, or he would go with them. Naruto realized that it would be better for Killer Bee to go alone, otherwise his brother would get in the way. Naruto and Killer Bee went to the Raikage's residence, and the others began to watch them from afar. Naruto and Killer Bee entered the Raikage's office. Brother, who is this with you? Hei asked. This is my friend and he has something to talk to you about, Killer Bee said. Lord Raikage, let Killer Bee go with us to the hidden Whirlpool village, said Naruto. My brother will stay here. I can't let him go with strangers, said Hei. I understand that we are not familiar to you, but perhaps you remember the yellow lightning of Konoha. That was my father, said Naruto. So you are Minato's son. Yes, I remember him. He was the only one who could keep up with me. It's a pity that he died. Now only I am the fastest in this world, said Yae. I bet you're not the fastest. If I overtake you, you'll let Killer Bee go with us, said Naruto. Interesting, I agree. You still won't be able to surpass me, said Hei. So let's make a straight line route and run to the border of the Lightning Country and back to the residence. How do you like it? Naruto asked. Quite a long route, but I agree, said Hei. Killer Bee, Naruto, and Hei walked out of the residence. Killer Bee, you will be the judge, said Hei. Okay, I'll tell you a few rules. 1. Don't set traps. 2. Don't use attacking techniques. 3. Don't fight on the way. The condition for winning is if Naruto wins, I'll go with him. If my brother wins, I'll stay here, and Naruto will forget the way here," said Killer Bee. "I'm ready," said Naruto and went into Kurama's cover mode. "Me too," said Hei, and his body was covered with lightning. "So then on the count of 3 we started, 1, 2, 3. Killer Bee said and didn't see any silhouettes or anything because of the dust. Naruto ran as fast as he could, but it was literally 3 meters away from him. "Kurama, can you think of something to make me faster?" said Naruto. "You can combine the hermit mode and my cover," said Kurama. Naruto tried to run and collect natural chakra, but he couldn't, and he created a clone. He immediately sat down and began to collect natural chakra, after which he dissipated. Naruto increased the gap, now it was running 12 meters away from him. I did not understand why Naruto became even faster. Soon they reached the border and ran back, but then something happened that Naruto did not expect. I stumbled over a snag and fell. And then he immediately got up and ran on. The gap increased to 20 meters. When Naruto ran up to the residence, he did not understand how to stop. "Gaara, help stop me!" Naruto shouted. Gaara was near the residence with the others. As soon as he heard the words, Gaara made a big pillow out of sand. Naruto saw this and realized that now if he did nothing he would have a snack of sand. Naruto jumped before the finish line and turned his back to the sand. Naruto stopped softly, but he quickly realized that A was running after him and that he could do the same now. Naruto ran away from the pillow. A stopped at the finish line. "Phew, you run fast, but you have a problem, you can't stop," said Hei, who was trying to catch his breath. "Naruto, I understand why you couldn't stop, it's because of my cloak combined with the hermit mode," said Kurama. "So, are you going to let your brother go with us?" Naruto asked, wiping the sweat off his face. "Okay, I'll let you go, but know that I'll be dropping by to see you sometimes," said Hei. "Thank you, we will protect your brother. Nato will take us to the village of the whirlpool," said Naruto. "Naruto, there's a problem, I don't know where the village of the whirlpool is. I could move you there if there was strong chakra or if I was there," said Naruto. "Oh, then I'll have to go on foot," said Naruto. "Maybe you'll go there tomorrow?" Hei asked. "Okay, people, we'll spend the night here. You can go your separate ways. Just know that tomorrow at 10 everyone should be here," said Naruto. Yujito and Fu went somewhere together. Han, Rashi and Sanbai went to the springs. Killer Bee and A also went somewhere. Naruto, Nato, Utakata and Gaara went first to eat and then to find a place to spend the night. When they found a place to spend the night, Naruto realized that another of his clones had dissipated, and he learned that the day after tomorrow a tournament for the strongest swordsman would be held in the fortress. And he decided that he would participate in it himself. Naruto woke up and went to grab a bite to eat at a nearby diner. Soon everyone else joined him. Naruto realized from their conversation that they were all staying at the same hotel. "Naruto, what are we going to do when we get to the Whirlpool Village?" Kan asked. "When we get there, I plan for everyone to start increasing their strength, and for this I came up with the idea that every Monday we will have a tournament to see who is stronger. But of course I will not participate in it because I already understand that I am too strong for you," said Naruto. "Yes, we understand that, but maybe you will allow us to fight you if, for example, the winner is 5 weeks old?" said Utakata, and everyone else agreed with him. "Okay, so be it, let's finish eating and let's move out," said Naruto. After 5 minutes, everyone had finished their portions. "Okay, let's move out," Naruto said, and together with the others, he went to the village of the Whirlpool. Meanwhile, in the fortress of the Metal Country. "Naruto, what are we going to do today? We already realized that you are one exercise ahead of us," said Itachi. "Today you will learn to control your emotions. By the way, you are not going to participate in the tournament?" Naruto clone asked. "I'm going to, but they don't want to," said Sasuke. Itachi, Shursui, why aren't you going to participate?" the clone asked. "We don't want to reveal all our cards. Have you read the rules for shinobi?" Shursui said. "No, what does it say?" clone asked. "Shinobi from other villages are obliged to show all their strength in a duel, because this is the only way to become stronger." "Or so it was said there," Shursui said. So if I don't use all my power in the tournament I'll lose, and even if I win without ninjutsu, I'll most likely be assigned an auto-defeat. Did I guess correctly? The clone asked. I'm not surprised anymore that you can assume such a thing. Yes, you assumed everything correctly, said Shui. So most likely you don't want to show your abilities because you won't be able to learn anything new anymore, said the clone, and saw that Shui and Itachi nodded. Then I understand why Sasuke decided to participate, said Naruto, and heard a knock on the door. Come in, said Itachi. Machi entered the room. Are you going to go to practice? Machi asked. Yes, we'll go out now, they all said. Naruto, go to Mifune, he has a special training for you, said Machi, and left the room. Special training sounds interesting, said the clone. So tomorrow we will also have a special training, said Shui. Okay, see you in the evening, said the clone, and went to Mifune. Naruto reached Mifune. Machi said that I have a special training today. What kind of training? The clone asked. We can't teach you anything anymore, so I decided you should fight me, said Mifune. Oh, can I go to the toilet? Said clone. Yes, be at the training ground in 5 minutes, said Mifune. Naruto's clone ran as fast as he could to the toilet. As soon as the clone entered the toilet, he created another clone and disappeared. Naruto learned about all of this. Nato, there is little time. Your task is to send me to my clone, and in the meantime you must protect all the Jinchuriki, said Naruto. Okay, when you come back, tell me everything, said Nato, and sent Naruto to his clone. So we need to pull ourselves together, Naruto said, and slapped his cheeks with his palms. Naruto ran to the training ground. Several samurai and Mifune himself were already standing there. Naruto, are you ready? Mifune asked and threw a sword at Naruto. Yes, said Naruto, and grabbed the flying sword. A samurai came out into the middle of the training ground. Let's start, said the samurai, and jumped to the side. Naruto decided not to attack Mifune head-on, but to wait for him to open up. Naruto began to create clones, but they were immediately killed by the samurai. What are you doing? Naruto shouted. Sorry, we didn't tell you, you shouldn't use techniques, said Mifune, and ran at Naruto. So that's how it is, it's even more interesting, Naruto whispered. Mifune started to pull out his katana, but Naruto immediately grabbed him by the arm and wanted to hit Mifune with his other hand. Mifune quickly reacted and freed his arm. Having retreated to a safe distance, Mifune decided to immediately pull out his katana and fight with full force. Naruto immediately ran at Mifune, and at the last moment, when he was supposed to hit with the katana, he abruptly changed his mind and made a roll and went between Mifune's legs, hitting his calf with the katana. Mifune jumped to the side again. He wanted to quickly bandage his leg, which he would have succeeded in if Naruto had hesitated for at least a second. Naruto immediately punched Mifune in the face as soon as he stopped. Mifune flew back a few meters and got to his feet, and in a second was next to Naruto. Naruto was able to dodge several of Mifune's blows, but was still injured in 2 places. His elbow and left hand were injured. You're not so bad, Naruto, said Mifune, and continued to attack Naruto. Yes, but I will definitely surpass you, said Naruto, and crossed his katana. Naruto began to press with all his might on Mifune's katana, which caused Mifune's katana to split into 2 parts. And at the moment when this happened, Mifune jumped back again. Your power is great, but to defeat you, this part of the katana will be enough for me, Mifune said, and straightened his hand. Well then, let's continue, said Naruto, and started attacking Mifune. Naruto tried to win, but Mifune blocked all the blows, leaving only the handle of his katana. So this is my chance to cut his sword handle and place my blade in front of his neck, Naruto said to himself. Naruto ran at Mifune and wanted to attack him with a vertical strike. But Mifune blocked his strike again, and what Naruto had planned happened. The handle that remained with Mifune fell apart, and Naruto tripped Mifune and immediately sat on him, holding his katana in front of his neck. I won, he said, breathing heavily. Good job, Naruto, said Mifune. Enough, Naruto won, said the samurai. Oh, now I'll have to heal my wounds, Mifune grumbled. Naruto decided to use what he learned from Tsunade and put his hands on Mifune's wounds. They began to heal. Naruto wanted to use the treatment on himself, but he saw that where the wound was, it quickly disappeared. So that's what Hagoromo was talking about immortality. We should check how long it takes for all this to happen, Naruto said to himself. Naruto ran the blade of the katana across his palm and waited. A minute later she was gone. Naruto, with such regeneration you can become immortal. Kurama laughed. Naruto, are you going to the tournament? Mifune asked. Yes, I would like to, said Naruto. With your strength, you can easily take first place, so I forbid you to go there, Mifune said. Wow, well, I understand that I would have easily defeated everyone, but I thought I would at least take part, said Naruto. I won't let you into the tournament, said Mifune. Okay, not really what I wanted, said Naruto. Okay, that's enough for today. After tomorrow you'll go back to Konoha, Mifune said and went to his place. Naruto decided to go to the bedroom and rest. A few hours later Naruto woke up Nato. Naruto, stop sleeping, said Nato. Oh Nato, stop, why did you leave the Jinchuriki alone? Naruto asked. I actually came for you, said Nato. Naruto created a clone and went with Nato. When they moved, Naruto did not immediately understand where he was. While you were sleeping, we reached the land of the whirlpool and decided to settle in one almost intact building. Let's go, I'll show it to you, said Nato. Naruto and Nato reached the building where everyone was already sitting and talking about something. We decided to settle in this house because it is almost untouched. There is a second floor, and also a basement, said Nato. So people, we need to figure out what to call us. There are suggestions, said Naruto. And everyone started suggesting a name, but none of them fit. And Naruto decided that he would rather go and sleep. Maybe someone would come up with one during that time. Naruto woke up in the house. Everyone was asleep and he decided not to wake anyone and go wander around the village. Naruto started to leave the house. Naruto, you're awake, said a sleepy Nato. I see that you also came up with a name? Naruto asked. Katsuki is a strange name? Asked Nato. Well, it seems normal, said Naruto. Naruto, I was thinking that I would start training you earlier. Do you want to start training now? Nato asked. Why not? What are we going to do? Naruto asked. First we'll have a sparring match, then I'll try to figure out which direction we'll move in, said Nato. So do you know where the open space is? Naruto asked. I thought of something. There is a pretty strong current here. If you can fight in such water you will definitely become stronger, said Nato and went towards the ocean. Naruto and Nato reached the water and Nato calmly walked on the water. Naruto hesitated, but also started walking. After a few seconds of walking, Naruto fell. Naruto, why are you falling? Asked Nato. Yes, I miscalculated the chakra and added too little, that's why I fell. Naruto laughed. Come on, get up, said Nato and gave Naruto his hand. Naruto decided to put a little more chakra this time, but the further he went the stronger the current became, and he had to give more chakra. Naruto, I came up with this, use the time split on the waters under your feet, said Naruto. Naruto tried to use the time split, and began to walk as if on water. So, is Naruto ready? Nato asked. Yes, said Naruto and ran towards Nato. Nato decided to attack from afar. What about your appearance? You didn't look like an Otsutsuki before, and now you have two white horns sticking out of your head and a Rinnegan, said Naruto. This is my combat shell, said Nato and flew up over the water. I'll show you my power, can you defend yourself? Nato started making seals. With ease, Naruto said with a smile. Snowstorm, said Nato, and immediately a large area was covered by a snowstorm. Snow is interesting, said Naruto, and one snowflake touched his face and left a cut. This is not ordinary snow, this snow cuts everything, and now you have to dodge it, said Nato. Naruto used the time split, and all the snow stopped flying, but there was one problem: if it moves it will start to damage itself. Naruto used my chakra, Kurama shouted. Naruto moved into Kurama's cloak and the snow around him began to melt. Good job, Naruto, then I'll try something else, said Naruto, and a red lightning bolt flew out of his hands. Naruto managed to dodge her and jumped up and began to attack Nato, but he disappeared. "What? Where are you?" Naruto shouted and started trying to find Nato. "I'm right in front of you. This is my technique of disintegration into atoms. In this form no one can harm me, but I can," said Nato. "Kurama, any idea?" Naruto asked. "Try making something like a bigger Rasengan around you and gradually increasing it. That way we'll at least get rid of the storm," Kurama said. Naruto began to try to control the air around him and create a Rasengan from it. From the side it looked like Hakusho. Naruto was able to remove the storm with this, but he never saw Nato. Naruto fell unconscious. When Naruto woke up he was already home. "What happened?" Naruto shouted and got up from the bed. "I slowly gave you poison during the fight. I just couldn't put you to sleep right away or you would have died," said Nato. "You won too easily," Naruto said. "Yes, it's easy, but if I won you, it means you're still weak for Mikata, because I met him twice and both times we were enemies. He just started using his power around and then I lost several organs," said Nato. "But you survived," Naruto said with surprise. "Yes, I was able to fly away from there. Fortunately he didn't see me, but I had to look for new organs. In general, I barely survived then," said Nato. "That means I'm still weak," said sad Naruto. "Yes, but you can become stronger," said Nato. "I hope so," said Naruto. Gaara entered the room. "I saw your fight, or rather I saw only Naruto, but I didn't see you," Gaara said and looked at Nato. "Gaara, it was the technique of disintegration into atoms," said Nato and, folding the seals, dissolved. "What kind of technique is this?" Gaara said in surprise. Nato went back into the human body. "Let me explain it to you. Some members of the Otsutsuki clan are given a technique from birth that only they can use," said Nato. It's like my sand," Gaara said. "Yes, you gave the right example," said Nato. "Naruto, when are we going to train?" Gaara asked. "You can start right now, I won't mind," said Naruto. "Okay, I'll go tell everyone," Gaara said and left the room. "Nato, I have a request, can you send me to some place?" said Naruto. "Okay, I roughly understood what this world looks like, so," said Nato, and a world map began to form out of thin air. "Wow, what are those red dots?" Naruto asked, surprised. "These dots show where the chakra is strong, so where should I send you?" Nato asked. Naruto found Konoha on the map and pointed there. "Choose one of the 2 points and I will move you," said Nato. Naruto pointed his finger at the spot. "Nato, come back for me at 10 p.m., said Naruto and moved. Naruto found himself in the lab next to Orochimaru. "Naruto, how did you end up here?" said Orochimaru. "No time to explain, by the way, what do you do?" Naruto asked. "I wanted to conduct an experiment on a person. I invented a pill that increases strength 100 times and does not give negative effects," said Orochimaru and showed a yellow pill. "I wonder if you've tested it on animals yet?" Naruto asked. "Yes, I tested it on a rat and put it next to a tiger. Surprisingly, the rat won and now eats the tiger," said Orochimaru. "How powerful is this pill? How much does it take to make it?" Naruto asked. "There are problems with that. This pill consists of several ingredients, but they grow in different parts of the earth," said Orochimaru. "Any progress yet?" Naruto asked. "Well, recently one man came to the village and started killing everyone left and right, so I killed him," said Orochimaru. "There are fearless people," said Naruto. "Come on, I'll show it to you," said Orochimaru, and Naruto followed him. On the table lay a man dressed in a black cape with red clouds. "At first I thought I killed him, but when the court came he started talking even without a head," said Orochimaru. "So this is Haiden from Akatsuki, weren't you familiar with him?" Naruto asked. "I don't remember him, but he also says something like that all the time," said Orochimaru. "So he doesn't remember his past life before Kodoama Tsukumi," Naruto said to himself. "But be that as it may, I don't need him anymore. I've done all the experiments on him and found a couple of interesting points," said Orochimaru. "Interesting moments, what kind?" Naruto asked. "For example, He uses a technique that is not found in the world anymore, as he himself called it. Curse technique, blood manipulating death, said Orochimaru. Naruto remembered this technique. But there is a problem. Even though I learned how to use this technique, I still don't understand how to become as immortal as him, said Orochimaru. Have you learned this technique? Naruto asked. Yes, I have studied it. If you want, I can teach you, but you will have to drink his blood with some additions, said Orochimaru and took the flask with blood. Okay, I'm ready to do it, said Naruto. Orochimaru began mixing blood with herbs. Here, drink these herbs so that his blood is fully absorbed along with his power, Orochimaru said and extended his hand with the contents. Naruto took the flask and drank it down in one gulp. Naruto felt pain in his head and everything started to go dark in his eyes. Don't be afraid, Naruto. This is how the blood is absorbed. Now you will pass out for a few minutes and wake up again, said Orochimaru and caught Naruto in his arms. Naruto woke up after 10 minutes. Oh, you're awake. Do you want to try out your new power? Orochimaru asked. Yes, I would like to, said Naruto. Hayden was carried out on a stretcher. What are you doing, freaks? I don't want to live anymore, shouted Hayden. Naruto, come and cut him, then watch his blood, said Orochimaru. Naruto walked up to Hayden and took out a kunai and hit him. Hayden's blood appeared on the kunai. Naruto licked the blood and a circle appeared under his feet. Oh, interesting, I have to draw it myself, said Orochimaru, surprised. Naruto hit himself with this kunai and didn't feel any pain, but Hayden started yelling and cursing. But like Naruto, you won't kill him with this, he's immortal, but the others, said Orochimaru. Interesting. Okay, Orochimaru, I'll go see the Hokage, said Naruto and left the lab. Naruto reached the Hokage's office and knocked on the door. Hiruzen, can I come in? Naruto asked. Yes, come in, said Hiruzen. Hiruzen, I came with some information for you, said Naruto. Speak, said Hiruzen and lit his pipe. I won't live in Konoha anymore. I want to restore the village where the Uzumaki lived, said Naruto. Okay, Naruto, it's up to you to decide where you want to live, but if we lose the tailed beasts like this, we'll become an easy target for the others, said Hiruzen. What if there are no tailed beasts in all the villages? I gathered all the Jinchuriki. Now they don't belong to any village except mine, said Naruto. So that's who kidnapped Gaara. I was about to send a falcon for you to help find him, said Hiruzen. I came to make a deal with you to supply food, building materials and people to my village, said Naruto. Okay, but what will you give in return? Hiruzen asked. We won't attack you, Naruto said with a smile. I understand you. You will maintain neutrality with all countries, but if something happens, you will protect our village, Hiruzen said and saw that Naruto nodded. Okay, Hiruzen, I'll go eat and go to my village, said Naruto and went to Ichiraku. After he ate, Nato appeared in front of him. Naruto, let's go, said Nato and moved Naruto. Nato, I'm going to go to sleep today, it was a long day, said Naruto and went up to his bed and lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Commentary on Part 15. Thanks for reading. I got carried away while writing on page 4. Part 16 Naruto woke up from the noise. Naruto ran to the window that overlooked the ocean and saw that all the Jinchuriki were fighting against Nato. Naruto decided to go and find out what was going on. Naruto was covered in Kurama's chakra and in a second he was next to Nato. Nato, what's going on here? Naruto asked. Well, they decided to practice and decided not to wake you up and then I caught their eye, but I agreed, said Nato. So initially they wanted me to fight against them. By the way, I thought you would be in fighting form, said Naruto. There was no need, said Nato. Nato in general, said Naruto and told Nato about the conversation with the Hokage. I see, we can accept people into this village, as well as food and everything else, but I don't want weaklings walking around here, said Nato. Me too, that's why I came up with some rules. A person can move court if, One if he is recognized by all members of the Katsuki organization, or he must defeat the previous mover," said Naruto. So our new village will have strong people. Maybe we should change the name of this village?" Nato asked. "I thought about it too and decided that this village will be called Utopia, because our country will be ideal in everything," said Naruto. "Not a bad name," Gaara said, flying up to them on his sand. "Gaara, there's a task for you. Listen, go to the port and wait for a boat there. A man with food and everything else should most likely sail to us today," said Naruto, and Gaara flew to the port. "Nato, let's go back to the shore, otherwise I don't want to just waste chakra," said Naruto, and went to the shore. All the other Jinchuriki went into the house. "Nato, there's a task for you. I will send you to one place now. Find Jiraiya there and return with him to me," said Naruto, and used the reverse summoning technique on Nato. Nato disappeared. "So I'll go see which houses can be restored, and I'll destroy the rest," said Naruto, and went to the village. Naruto decided to tell all the other Jinchuriki to do the same as him. Several hours passed, devastating attacks were heard from everywhere. Naruto found another house and saw a painfully familiar hairstyle on the portrait. Naruto approached and began to examine. It was a young girl similar to Kushina, but there were several differences. Naruto thought that most likely it was his great-grandmother, and decided to hang it in his house. As soon as Naruto left the house, he saw Gaara, who was carrying several large logs and food with his sand. Naruto approached him. "Oh Naruto, it was quite strange to see those logs floating after the ship," said Gaara. "Do you need help?" Naruto asked. "No need, I can handle it myself. What's all the noise in the village?" Gaara asked. "I decided to demolish houses that are not fit for restoration," said Naruto. "And I was wondering what all the noise was about, but then I thought maybe you were training," Gaara said, and placed the logs next to the house. "Do you know who you can make them chop into boards?" Naruto said with a smile. "You can put Fu," said Gaara. "Gaara, did you like her?" Naruto said and smiled. "But it's not like I like her," Gaara said. "I see," said Naruto, and introduced Gaara next to Fu. "Okay, I'll go tell her about her mission," Gaara said, and flew up into the air on the sand. Naruto decided to bring in food. When he finished, Nato and Jiraiya appeared in front of him. Naruto told him about his plan for the Jinchuriki. "So this is what you were planning to do, revive the Ten Tails and make Madara its Jinchuriki and subjugate him. Do you think Shirsui's eyes will work on him?" Jiraiya asked. "But they worked on Orochimaru," said Naruto, smiling. "What are you on Orochimaru?" Jiraiya couldn't finish because of surprise. "Nato, what are the chances of subduing Madara?" Naruto asked. "-90 to 10 depending on how selenium your friend is. Let's check. If my air map shows a dot on him, then most likely it will work on him," said Nato, and formed a map out of thin air. "He's right here." He showed Naruto on the map and saw 4 dots there. I thought of it. I can't understand if it's him or not. Let's do it this way, maybe it won't work," said Nato, and took Naruto by the hands and used the technique of disintegration into atoms on himself and Naruto. "What happened? I stopped feeling my body. Stop, where is it?" Naruto shouted. "Don't be afraid, this is my technique. I practiced it for a long time to do this," said Nato. "Yes, I'm not afraid, it's just unusual not to feel my body," said Naruto. "So now let's move to one of the points," said Nato, and moved together with Naruto. "Is this him?" Nato asked. "No, it's Mifune, by the way. It hurts when you speak calmly," said Naruto. "I just made it so they wouldn't listen to us," said Nato. "That's how it is. Let's move on to the next one," Naruto said, and Nato moved Naruto. "He?" Nato asked. "No, it's Itachi," said Naruto. Nato moved to a new point again. "Is it him this time?" Nato asked. "Yes, it's Shisui. What can he do?" Naruto asked. "If he trains with me, he will definitely be able to," said Nato. "You can look for another person," Naruto said, and tried to move from his place. "You won't be able to move, and if our hands are unfastened, you most likely won't return to your reverse form. Let's go look for him," said Nato. Naruto and Nato flew to look for Sasuke. A few minutes later they found him. Nato, I decided that he should become the Jinchuriki of the three-tailed Sambai, said Naruto. I see great potential in him. As I understand it, you will instruct me to seal Sambai in him. Yeah, okay, let's go back to Utopia, Naruto said and moved with Nato. Now Naruto, I will remove my technique, said Nato, and Naruto's body began to gradually recover as well as Nato's body. Nato completely forgot to send me back alone, said Naruto. What again? Said Nato and sent Naruto to Sasuke. Naruto, where are you from? Sasuke asked. You'll find out soon. Are you ready for the tournament? Naruto asked. Yes, Itachi and Shisui helped me several times with things I couldn't handle, said Sasuke. Naruto wondered why Sasuke wasn't on Nato's map. Naruto decided to awaken Sasuke's Manjikyu Sharingan. Sasuke, do you want to become stronger? Naruto asked. Of course, I want to become the strongest in this world, said Sasuke, to which Naruto smiled. Naruto used the strongest genjutsu on Sasuke that he knew, and showed Sasuke his life in his world. Sasuke fell unconscious. Naruto caught Sasuke and put him on the bed. 5 minutes later, Sasuke woke up in tears. Naruto, what was that? Said Sasuke, wiping tears from his eyes. Naruto saw that Sasuke's eyes had changed. Sasuke, this would be your future if I were weaker, said Naruto. You showed it to me, but why? Sasuke asked. Sasuke, you need to see this, said Naruto and led Sasuke to the mirror. What's with my eyes? It doesn't look like my Sharingan, Sasuke said. Sasuke, I awakened your Manjikyu Sharingan. Now you are even stronger than Itachi, said Naruto and smiled. But I'm not stronger than Shisui, right? Sasuke asked. Yes, you can say that you are on the same level, but he is more experienced, you know. Go to him and tell him everything and ask him to teach you genjutsu, said Naruto, and Sasuke ran to Shisui. Oh, I hope he got stronger, said Naruto and lay down on the bed. Naruto didn't want to sleep, but he fell asleep. Naruto woke up in the evening and decided to go to the yard because the tournament was about to start. Naruto went out into the yard and caught Itachi's displeased look. Naruto decided to approach him. Itachi, make your face simpler, said Naruto, smiling. Why did you awaken Sasuke's Manjikyu? Itachi asked. That's why, said Naruto and pointed at Sasuke, who came out to fight. Did you do this so that he wouldn't lose? Itachi asked. Yes, I want him to take first place, said Naruto and started watching Sasuke's fight. Sasuke decided not to waste his time because he still had a few fights ahead. As soon as the referee said start, Sasuke quickly ran up to his opponent and, hitting his head on the ground, used genjutsu on him so that he would not get up again. Everyone was shocked that a newbie who had only recently come to train could knock out his opponent so quickly. Then there were several fights of other samurai. Then it was Sasuke's turn, but he used the same scheme until he reached the top 3. In front of Sasuke there was already a young guy who was as tall as Sasuke. He had 4 katanas. As soon as the fight began, Sasuke decided to try the same thing, but his opponent blocked the blow and inflicted 3 cuts on Sasuke. Sasuke jumped back and realized that this technique would not work anymore. He decided to attack his opponent with lightning elements. Chidori appeared in his hand and Sasuke ran at his opponent, but he simply dodged for a while. Then Sasuke wanted to hit his opponent, but he was stopped. You have won enough, said the judge and raised Sasuke's hand up. Sasuke was not happy that he was not allowed to finish the blow. Then there was another samurai fight. Again Sasuke went to the center of the circle. In front of him stood a very large man. Sasuke decided not to even try to hit him with his hands or Chidori. Most likely he would have lost immediately if he had tried to do so. The referee announced the start of the fight. Sasuke's opponent did not even move from his place. Sasuke decided to immerse his opponent in genjutsu. Putting his hand on his face, he laughed loudly, to which he heard a strange phrase. I understand where you are now, you are finished, said the big guy and ran to Sasuke. Sasuke quickly realized that his opponent, although strong in appearance, was blind. Sasuke began to dodge his opponent's attacks, but each blow from the big guy came closer and closer. Sasuke began to remember the few hours when Shisui trained him. A few hours ago. Sasuke, Even though you got the Manjikyu, you haven't fought against people who are several times stronger than you, so I'll teach you what one of the ANBU taught me," said Shui. Shui showed a point on the body where a needle could be used to disable his opponent. After Shui showed where he gave several needles to Sasuke. Most of them were short, but a few were much longer than them. The present. Sasuke jumped into the air and took out a large needle and threw it at the place where Shui pointed. The needle pierced the armor and pierced that spot. The big guy lost consciousness. Immediately after the big guy was pulled away, an old man came out who used the sheath as a cane. Sasuke did not realize at first that it was his opponent until he asked the judge. As soon as the judge said start, the old man appeared behind Sasuke in a second and said, "Judge, I have one," said the old man. "What is this speed?" Sasuke asked. "I may be even stronger than Mifune, but I'm too old to take his place," said the old man. Naruto decided that this old man should definitely go with them to Utopia. The judge announced the winner and the top 3 began to hand out prizes. Sasuke got a mold for making a katana for second place. Sasuke approached Naruto. "What should I do with this?"